are the biggest problems you're having? And for a company like Tuatara, a guy like me, we want to know what the biggest problem is in your organization because we're fearless. We're those weird creatures that are gravitating towards that fire, and if the fire's hot, it's perfect because we're going to put on our battle gear and we're going to lead the organization out the other side.
Today we speak with Steve Cundy. Steve is the founder and CEO of Tuatara Consulting. He's also the founder and president of the nonprofit Taskforce Uplift. Steve spent 4 years as an airborne ranger, an infantry recon sniper, and fire team leader. As you'll notice from our interview, he's extremely passionate about helping businesses tackle the problems that they face and developing solutions that uplift our military community. Without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Who is Tuatara Consulting and what do you guys do?
That's a good question. Tuatara Consulting is a management consulting firm, and what we do is we look for problems out there in the business world. It could be data problems, it could be technology back-end issues, or it could be process related. And what we do is we go in, assess that problem, and we use a combination of people, process, and technology as an overall solution to take care of that issue. And it's really important that we ground ourselves in providing that business value. So we like to focus on how we can move the proverbial business needle, increase revenue, decrease cost, improve margin, increase market share, and we want to wrap all of our solutions into moving that proverbial needle.
That's awesome. How did you come up with the name Tuatara?
That's another good question. So Tuatara, when we were out there and starting the company, we wanted to break off, and we wanted something that really signified who Tuatara or who our company would be before we named it Tuatara. And we had all kinds of creative ideas. What we would do is we put it in the www.whatisthis.com test, and all of our great ideas quickly got flushed out because they were long, and if you're typing that in, that's something you want to do. So we started to focus on an object, something that would signify who our company would be, which is we want to be adaptable solutions that would endure, and there's so much churn in technology that we wanted our solutions to be able to stand the test of time and bypass those limitations of technology coming and going with the breeze through the trees. So we looked up online and saw some animals that were kind of cool, but this little Tuatara kept sticking out. And he's this little green guy that's over in New Zealand, and he's been around since the dinosaur ages. And he connects all different types of reptile species together. He's adapted, can live in hot or cold weather climates, can bite right through your finger. So a tough little dude, which really also represents who Tuatara is. And it's evolved over time. So the ability to adapt, overcome, evolve is really that message that we want to get across. And Tuatara, the little green guy out in New Zealand, he put it all together for us, so we became Tuatara.
That's awesome. Kind of like Geico.
Kind of like Geico, and they are related in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's interesting. So who's your target market? Like what sort of businesses do you work with or looking to work with?
Our target market is, it's more along the lines of enterprise type accounts. With enterprise, it's larger companies here in Wisconsin. It'd be like Northwestern Mutual, Johnson Controls, Clarios, larger organizations. We also hit the mid-market being some of those smaller organizations that are going through a digital transformation overhaul. So we're aspirational at the enterprise level, but the soft market for us and our target, where our solutions fit really well, is really in that middle market space.
Okay. What do you think businesses are missing when it comes to business strategy?
When it comes down to business strategy, what we see in the marketplace is it's either business trying to move their business forward and they need these things. They need access to data, insights that they can't get fast enough. Over on the IT side, they can't move fast enough to keep up with the pace of the business needs. And it's usually one or the other. And when we engage our customers, it's usually engaged on one side or the other side, business or IT. And where Tuatara comes in is we form that bridge between both, because we can speak that business speak, understand the business problem, what insights do they need extracted, what is the issue they're having out there in the industry, and then ultimately how does that tie back into the technology side, so we can really be not only the bridge but the translator to bring that all together and ensure that the consulting that we're doing and the solutions we're providing are connecting that business value to the technical capability, people, process, and technology, bridging that all together and really ensuring that you're taking your organization along for a ride. Organizational change management, you don't just toss it over a wall and hope it's going to work. If you're really trying to move that business needle, bring it all together, make sure that people are leading the way, change the processes that are going to enable the success factors, and even with the digital transformation and automation that you're bringing into play, make sure that the business understands the cause and effect and what's in it for them, so everybody's winning together, and then the motion starts going, digital transformation in motion.
That's awesome. So what's if a business wants to do business with you, what's like the process? Do you do a free analysis, or how does that all work?
Yeah, to engage Tuatara, we're very well connected in industry. We got a lot of really good friends out there and appreciate that in the veteran community. When we think about the veteran community and how big that population is and the roles that they play in all these wonderful companies in our area, it's really reaching out and just having conversations. What are the biggest problems you're having? And for a company like Tuatara, a guy like me, we want to know what the biggest problem is in your organization because we're fearless. We're those weird creatures that are gravitating towards that fire, and if the fire's hot, it's perfect because we're going to put on our battle gear and we're going to lead the organization out the other side. And that's what charges us up each day. What is the biggest problem you are having in your business? Growing your market, growing revenue, decreasing costs, fixing your production lines, whatever that may be. Point us at that and let's have a conversation. Let's start to build some solutions together.
I love that. That's awesome. You're getting me fired up. So in the past year here, you started a nonprofit as well called Taskforce Uplift. Can you explain a little bit about that and what your mission is there?
Yeah, absolutely. Taskforce Uplift, as I look back in time and I look at the experiences I've had as not only a young boy moving into adulthood, joining the military, and then going on the professional world, there's always been a gap. And what I see is you have the military and then you have that bridge to cross over to become a veteran. And when you're in the active duty military, there's a lot of services that are available to kids, but as they transition out, the services start to drop off for the veteran and they also start to drop off for the kids. In all reality, that makes sense because, well, you're no longer active duty, you're a veteran, so you're not going to have access to the same thing you did in your full-time job. But that transition period is really hard on the kids, and I've watched that generational gap. I'm a fourth generation veteran myself, and going through that cycle, I'm watching all the kids that come out the other side. It hits on working class going in, which makes up the large number of folks that we have joining the military services. They go in working class, they get structure, they get a job, they get an income, they have a sense of being, they get out, they're still working class. They lost the structure, they lost that identity, and they've got to go and reinvent themselves. Big difference is, a lot of times kids are coming along for the ride. So as the parent is trying to find something that they may have not had before they went in, now they're coming out the other side and they lost that thing that they thought that they found, and the kids are kind of caught up in that churn. So with Taskforce Uplift, what we're really focused on is making sure that we meet those parents where they are. They're their number one heroes. Those kids look up to the mom and dad, all the wonderful things they've done. Doesn't matter if they're right, wrong, great, it really is irrelevant. They're their heroes. And what we want to be able to do is meet that family where they're at, provide coaching and mentorship, different points of view and perspective for these children. When it comes down into the technology access, we're here in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, we go 3 miles down the road. We have a huge portion of our population in inner city. A lot of them are veterans that don't have access to the internet. The kids go to school each day, they come home to do their homework. They don't have the same access to compete and win as kids in a 5-mile radius on the other side. So what Taskforce Uplift is really focused on is making sure we get the technology into their hands, not only the technology, but the internet access that's going to give them that common thing that it's almost like with air that you breathe. Is a God-given right. You should be able to go to google.com and surf the web, get after that knowledge. But we also understand that that's not enough. We've got to factor that out and use the other end cap. First bookend would be here are the coach and mentorship, different points of view, different perspectives from other people that walk the life. In the middle, technology and technology access, and the final bookend would be the technical training. If we can get the technical training and plug into organizations like the ServiceNow SkillBridge program, Google Veteran Initiatives, and also the Microsoft Military Academy, they're already offering wonderful services to veterans, active duty military, et cetera, where they can get the certification training, 90% plus job placement rate, starting salaries between 70 all the way up well into the 6-figure zone. I want to be able to tap into those structures, extract that, turn them on their side, and get that put into high school so our veteran kids can have access to that technical training, the certification, and those internships and great paying jobs. We don't have enough people here in America filling them. We can start putting those kids in those jobs, and they're game changing, not only for the kids coming out, where they don't have to pick between military, college, or bust, or a blue collar job. They can get this training while they're in, cross over that bridge, have a fantastic job waiting for them. They can go to college if they'd like, they can join the military if they like, but more importantly, it's game changing for that family. So when we tie all that together, providing this technology access, it doesn't just benefit the kids. You're putting technology into that household, it benefits the veteran family. Taking care of the kids and making sure that they're well taken care of provides relief for the parents that need to focus on that identity, what they're planning to do with their lives, and how they're going to advance their careers forward as well. So if we get all that in motion, we start to break the cycle of working class come in, we have structure, working class go out, we lose our structure, we have to reinvent ourselves, and we're lost. And we all know the problems that leads to. We have wonderful veteran service organizations all over the state and all over the United States that are helping those vets out. I'm focused on how do we break that cycle and how do we uplift not only the veterans but the veteran children to create a better way for the future.
Absolutely, that's amazing. And as you're saying it, you don't realize it when you're in the military. I mean, you might have because you have that lineage, but for me, I just went in, my family doesn't have the same lineage as others do, you know, seeing these children in the military and stuff like that. And I always thought when I was in, I didn't want to get married and have kids because I didn't want to put my family through that. But there is families that, you know, they go through that. So that's an amazing organization. So you're trying to take this program national, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We have Wisconsin roots here, so I'm pretty passionate about making sure that we stand this up and we create jobs not only for veterans, but community-based jobs as Taskforce Uplift gets additional wind in their sail. That we create these jobs, we create this access for community, and we create the gold standard for what Taskforce Uplift can be. And we start to move that into other military towns, but we create that corporate presence in the nonprofit sector right here. And it's also really important to me that we're not reinventing the wheel, but we're creating partnerships and synergies with the other veteran service organizations and the non-veteran service organizations out there, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, the Boys and Girls Club. They have tremendous programs. I want to stop the cycle of competing for grant money and everybody fighting over the dollars. How do we create synergy, focus on impact zone, and amplify it by working better together and really bring in that veteran community that we can take the hill together mentality to the fold? Because together we don't have to fight. We're supposed to be looking for ways to optimize the impact zone, and the missions all tend to come together. That's what we're after.
No, that's awesome, man. Thanks for sharing that. How can people get in touch with you at Tuatara and learn more about Taskforce Uplift?
Yeah, no, the modern world of technology, just go to www.tuatarainc.com. That's going to be our core website. Out there you can also find other contact information. So if you're having a business problem out there that seems big, scary, and ugly, call Tuatara. We'll be after that. Over on Taskforce Uplift, it's taskforceuplift.org. It is a 501c3. And what that is, it's part of the Cundy Foundation of Military Youth Development. And we're doing business as Taskforce Uplift because there's going to be other entities that are spun up off the Cundy Foundation of Military Youth Development. And we're very committed to not only doing this sort of technology and leading into the technology, but also starting to bridge out into the trades and other functions. So we're not limited to just technology, because all kids that are coming out of school, they don't have aspirations to go and work at Microsoft or some of these other fields. They want to go be an astronaut. They want to go and be a plumber. We want to make sure that we're removing the barriers and creating the access that they need to really look at the world through a much bigger lens, as opposed to the limitation of, this is my mom and dad, this is my grandma and grandpa, these are my neighbors, this is my limited point of view. We want to widen that point of view so they can see all the different options and they can go find themselves, be empowered, chase their dreams, and remove the obstacles that are preventing them from getting out there and getting them.
Thanks for tuning in. Stick around and check out this episode here, or you can check out this one right here. And if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you in the next video.